Greetings! Today we are going to be talking about romance in a time of quarantine. But first, why is there a cat on my screen? Yes. Yeah, let's get to the cat facts. So as you can see in this video, this cute little kitty. Hello, hello. I can't hear me, but yes, our cat fact today is: have you ever noticed that while cats have 4 legs, they only leave 2 sets of footprints? And this is exactly the same as only 2 other animals that we know of in the animal kingdom, and those are camels and giraffes. So all these guys have 4 legs, like cats, and as you can see, because of the way they step into their own existing footprints, the way in which they move, they only leave 2 sets of footprints. Isn't that clever? Okay, now moving along, let's of course get to our Korean lesson. 안녕하세요. 밥 먹겠어? How's the food? Yeah, it's probably a little bit past lunch today. I apologize, but let's hop to that lesson. So today, if you have been doing your usual alphabet study, you can read this way ahead of me. But for those that don't know the alphabet yet, let's get to it. The first one is Jin. See, that's why there's that ginger bunny there with a glass of what is presumably gin and tonic. The lemon, should really use a cucumber instead. But yes, Jin. And then the next one on the right is that rabbit trying to open the jar. Jar. Jinja, which means very. It's a bit like in Hokkien. Jinja, jinja ho, jinja, very. Okay. All right, and then below that, you've seen that one before. What is it? It is mash, mas. Well, mash. And then after that, the final one is ista, or in this case, more like ita. So mas is taste, and ita is exist. Taste exists. Okay, so what that means is tasty, right? So this phrase 진짜 맛있다 is recommended by Lydia. Thank you. Hope you're doing well in KL. And yes, so this phrase 진짜 맛있다 means very tasty, extremely delicious. So yeah, if you are, cooking at home, or enjoying someone else's cooking in this wonderful time of quarantine, do remember to show your appreciation with them. You can do so in any number of languages. Now +1. You're welcome. Okay. All right, move along. So now, yes, of course, the main topic. As I alluded to in a previous podcast, roommates hanging together in, same room, same house, same building, apartment, whatever, are bound to, develop certain, emotions, feelings for each other. They may not necessarily be like the fluffy romance ones. Maybe you might rub each other the wrong way. Not in a seductive way, I mean. It's when all the the freaking out, the scary stuff, contracting the virus, coughing yourself to death, that sort of stuff is out of the way. Once it's settled down, I guess all we have left is to continue living out our days, and one of that, I guess, is to get to know people, right? Or get to know people you already know, but perhaps in a different light. Okay, so yes, we are going to be talking about quarantine love stories in a time of COVID-19. Yes. Yeah. No. There's not going to be any stories. It's just me talking about fanfic out there. I'm sure there is already a lot of people working on that steamy story about a couple who lived across the hall from each other and were never around because they were always working. But now, in quarantine, they're always home. And one day when she opens the door, she sees him across the hall in his place. And they can talk. They start talking and they get to know each other, but always across the hall, right? And you know, that sort of thing. Yeah. So that brings me to another question. Have you ever met your neighbors? Right? Say you stay in a condo, or even if you're in a landed property, you know, in a house, I'm sure you have neighbors, right? Some. No matter how near or far they are. Have you ever met them? You ever said hi? How about now? Now's probably a good time. Yeah, get to know them. Could be a hot so-and-so living opposite. Wink, wink. Yeah, because you know you can't see me wink, right? Yeah, you know, definitely. So, love is quarantine. Yeah. So yeah, definitely get on that and let me know how you go, because, hey, I mean, you know, what's the worst that can happen? Look, at best, it's a win-win, right? You get to meet someone new, you make a friend, you get to know them better. Doesn't matter, it's a guy or a girl, whatever. Just, you know, at least you know your neighbor on a deeper level, right? So you bond with another human being, right? That's a good start. And hey, you know, if it doesn't work out, then you can just lock yourself in your house and never have to see them, right? Easy. Until at least quarantine is lifted and we are released into the wild like bunnies, right? Okay. So yeah, so definitely. I mean, like I mentioned, you know, now that all this madness is kind of settling in, people are getting used to their work from home routines. You know, you gotta have something to keep you going. You know, there's gotta be a hope. There's gotta be something on the other end, right? Hope, and a lot of that is you know, looking forward to, you know, maybe someone that you may be able to see, and someone, you know, something that is out there. It may not be a real person or a real thing yet. Maybe you really missed your job, your work. That's a form of love. It doesn't have to be the usual, you know, lovey-dovey puppy love, right? Could be you just really want to get out there, get back to what you were doing, your work or your nature, get out there, right? And that is going to keep you going, right? So in the meantime, I have been reminded of a movie that I watched quite a while ago, but has always stuck with me. It's one of Robin Williams' earlier movies, but a very poignant one. He did amazingly. It's one called Dead Poets Society. You may have heard of it. You may have seen it. Okay, and in it he had a very powerful quote that kind of stuck with me. Here it is. So his character, who is a teacher in this movie, said, "We don't read poetry because it is cute. We read and write poetry because we are members of the human race, and the human race is filled with passion." Now, medicine, law, business, engineering, these are noble pursuits and necessary to sustain life. But poetry, beauty, romance, love, these are what we stay alive for. Okay, so yeah, so speaking of poetry, I figured I'd read something for you. So this is a kind of a classic piece by William Wordsworth. It's a bit of a tongue twister there, isn't it? Alright, see if you've heard of this one. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way, they stretched in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet could not but be gay in such a jocund company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. For oft, when on my couch I lie, in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude. and then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. There you go. So yeah, that's our little bitty poem for the day, right? So keep me posted on how your romances are going, okay? And like I said, if nothing else, even if it's just a fantasy, it's all good. Let it keep you alive, okay? So stay alive, stay sane, and I will see you on the other side, okay? Sam out. Have a good day.